Hello! I was typing something, you know what I mean? I was typing things. Good morning. Hello, welcome to The Surgical Dream. Yes, indeed. I am on my way for a variety of mini surgeries. Well, a couple, three maybe. 3 mini surgeries is what I'm in need of. Yar! Yes, yar. I will have an eye patch at some point. Only for a couple of days, probably. But I will have an eye patch at some point. Emma got upset with me. She was like, no, we're not doing this. You're fucking... My entire Saturday was being poked and prodded by various educated people who were like, okay, that's fucked. That's fucked. No, it didn't start that way. I'll tell you the story, but it didn't start that way. It actually started Friday evening. Around 10 p.m. It started Friday evening. There is a picture of this, but I'm not going to show it, and it's not a great picture anyway, so I'll describe the horror to you. So, I was in my bathroom. Everything's good. Had a great evening with the fam. I was getting ready to go and actually have a sleep where I don't have an alarm. I don't set an alarm on a Saturday, but it's all good. And I'm brushing my teeth. And always, I just check my teeth. It's a habit, because I'm on camera a lot. It's one of those things. So I always check my teeth. One of my teeth has died within 12 hours. It is not only dark blue, but going black. One of my teeth, my back right tooth. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I looked in the mirror and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, whoa. I couldn't feel anything. I had no concept of this being a thing until I visually saw it in the mirror. I had no throbbing, no nothing. And I was like, what in the fuck is that? So I shouted Emma. I was like, Emma, you need to come here now. And have a look at this. And she goes, what? I was like, one of my teeth has died. And she's like, what? And she's looking, and she goes, holy shit. And she looks inside, and my back right tooth has just gone completely dark. And then she's looking at it really closely, and she said, like, there's a pink thing sticking out of the middle of it. She's like, this is bad. And she's like, how much pain are you in? I'm like, 0. I've literally just brushed my teeth. I'm in 0 pain. I can't even feel a fucking thing. I don't know what is happening at all, but it is gone. It's very, very dark blue. Very dark blue. And this has happened in the course of before stream on Friday to now. Like, it was not there in the morning at all. It was not there in the morning, and it's happened over the course of the day. This has happened. So I don't know, like, I haven't checked drama time if you could see it there, because I didn't know. I had no idea. But it was there. It is fucking there. So Emma's like, all right, let's see what we can do. So we call the NHS emergency dental line. And the issue we ran into, so Emma's explaining it. And the girl's like, wait, it's happened today? And she's like, yeah. And then she goes, how much pain is he in? And she goes, nothing at all. Which then disqualified me, rightfully so, from going to the emergency dental line. And then I said, because it was on speakerphone while we were talking to her, and I went, ow! And she went, yeah, nice try. Like, we can tell if you actually have pain. Like, we can very easily tell if you're actually in some sort of dental pain. And she's like, that's a good try. But that's not going to happen. She's like, you'll need to try and book in for something. It's not bullshit, because if it's not in pain, there's people, if you've ever had dental pain, which I thankfully haven't, but I have been with somebody who actually has real dental pain. They're in agony, and that's what that line is for. They because you can't get rid of it, right? It's inside your face. Like, what are you going to do? Like, there's nothing to do. Yeah, it's actual hell, so there's nothing. If you're not in, like, discomfort, she did say, like, if you start getting discomfort, please call us. But, like, given your current situation, you're not right for this. So, all right. So, went to sleep on it. Woke up there. She said, call at 8 o'clock in the morning and they'll be able to get you in somewhere. All right. So, 8 o'clock in the morning, called them, got booked in, went down there. And this is where it got really weird. So, I went to a dentist. And she went, which one is it? I was like, oh, you'll be able to tell, because by this point it had gone really, really fucking black. Just one tooth, just completely black. So she goes, oh, okay. And then she's like, so what happened? I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. And she's like, so how long has it been like this? I went, it was fine Friday morning and it was like this Friday night. And she went, she's like, are you sure? I was like, I do check my teeth a lot because it's, you know, as I explained what I do, I was like, I can't really go on camera with like a fucking pube hanging out of my mouth or whatever, right? I can't do that. So she's like, okay, let's take a look at it. And I was like, I don't mean to sound like a narcissistic arsehole here, but I do have to be in Germany on Friday where I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures. That is the reality of the situation, is I need to be in Germany on Friday, and I am going to be doing a lot of pictures that entire weekend, and I do not want either one, a fucking pitch black tooth, or a hole in my face at that point. So she's like, okay, I kind of get it. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like it or not, it is a thing. So I was like, all right. So she weighs it up, and she goes, okay, I see what's happened here, because I can see the pink thing coming out. She said, you've had a filling here at some point. That's cracked, and it's bleeding inside the tooth, and that dead blood. So she said it's basically bruising. It's like the darkness is actually just the dead blood that's like in the tooth. It's like, that's what's happened. So your filling is cracked, there's some bleeding, and the darkness you're seeing is just the blood. So she's like, it's essentially bruising. And she was like, which is fine. Huh. She's like, yeah, it's fine. So she did an x-ray on it, and then she comes back and she goes, you've had a root canal on this tooth. And I went, have I? She went, are you joking? I was like, honestly, I've had to have 0 dental work done since I was a teenager. And she's like, yeah, you've got a root canal here. And she showed it me on the x-ray. It was like bright white where they'd done it. And she went, and your root canal is fantastic. Like, your root canal is totally fine. She was like, this is actually okay. She said, the top bit is cracked. It's no problem. We can fix that. It's all good. So I was like, you don't need to pull my tooth out. She went, no, your tooth is amazing. Like, your tooth is actually just completely rock solid. So don't need to worry about that. She's like, but we do need to decide what to do. She said, because you've been slacking on going to the dentist for years, which I have. And she then said, right, you need to come back. We'll do something temporary on it now so you can go to Germany. Because she was like, if you can live with it, we don't have to do anything till like next week. But I was like, I really do need this fixing. She's like, all right, no problem. So we'll do that. And then she went, have you got any other issues? And I was like, oh, everyone's, you know, my eyes, I keep having to, got checked like 8 months ago. And she's like, well, I don't do eyes. And then Emma goes, we're sorting you out today. We're sorting you out. So she's like, come back at 3 o'clock. So Emma then gets on the phone in the room. And she's like, I'm sick of you not going to the doctors. I'm tired of it. You're never going to the doctors. Because she goes for anything, right? So she's the exact opposite. She goes for anything. She's like, right, I'm booking you in to get your eyes done again. And I was like, well, I haven't done that not long ago. But he did say, I told you guys when I had my last eye test, is like, you will need glasses soonish, but not yet. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That makes sense. I should have probably, you know, given what I do, I probably should have needed glasses years ago. So I've done quite well. So he's like, right, what I want to do is book you in. You're going to have a full tooth inspection, a proper one, because we haven't done that. And then we'll sort out your other tooth temporarily. All right. Get in the car. Then it's off to the opticians. The opticians one was more funny than the dentist one. The dentist one was a relief. It's like, your tooth is fine. We'll sort it this afternoon. All good. The opticians. So I go into this opticians in the Trafford Centre, right? And it's he's like, hi, I'm Dr. fucking Eyeball Man. And then he goes, all right, so what are we here for? I was like, just an eye test. Like, there's definitely some blurriness. So I get blurriness, and when it's very bright outside, I see floaters, right? I see floaters. I talked to you guys about that. So I see floaters. So I was like, all right, let's just go through it. So I did the fucking preamp to check your eyeballs are healthy, where they poof your eye. Poof, poof, poof. They do all that shit. And then I go in for the proper test. And that's when it got weird. So I've been there on my own. Emma's waiting outside with the boys. And he's checking my eyes, and he had me read the things. And my left eye was definitely weaker than my right. And he's got me reading the lines. He's like, pretty good. All right, so now we'll do like the prescription test thing. And then he's going, all right, so he puts 2 in front of you. It's like A or B, right? A or B. And he goes, A or B. And I go, well, they're the same. And he goes, okay. Tries another one, A or B. And I'm like, they're the same. And he started to get confused. He's like, let's do it again. And I'm like, A or B. And he's like, they're still the same. He's like, are they clear? I was like, it's not clear, but they're not changing. So I was like, all right. There's a couple more, and it's still the same. I was like, they're still the same. I was like, all right, let's do individualize. And, you know, I was like, there was one that was slightly clearer, like ever so slightly clearer. I was like, A. And then he goes, all right, can you read this? And I was like, I can read it, but I'm like kind of guessing a little bit. I was being as honest as I could be. I was like, that looks like a G, but it could be a C, you know, in the very fine print. And then he put like a paragraph in front of me and he was like, can you read that paragraph? I was like, yeah, but I mean, I can make out what the word is, but I can't see it. Crystal, like the shapes are clear enough and I can contextually fill in what the words should be. And he's like, all right, I get it. So he goes back and he goes A or B again. We get back to this. And he goes, my left eye was weaker, right? We did the individual and he's like, okay. I was like, that's wild, dude. I said, there's no way. I was like a full line off on my left eye. And he goes, all right, let's go back. A or B? Same. And he's like, okay. And he was getting like a little frustrated. He's like, you're not seeing any difference here. And I'm like, not really. And he's like, hold on. Right, I need to check some more stuff. So he comes back over. He's like, let's do this pinhole test. Let's do this one. So he puts this pinhole thing in front of my eye. It's crystal clear. And then he puts it over my left eye with a different one. He gets a different one he puts over my left eye. And I'm looking at it. And I'm like, this isn't right. And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, okay. So I can see through the pinhole. Everything around the center is crystal clear. Like, absolutely sharp and in focus as fuck. But I said, in the middle, it's what appears to be, if I was to describe it, a folded up contact lens right in the middle. I can see all the way around it, like, super clear. But it's like, it looks like there's something on the lens. And he's like, what? I was like, it looks like there's something on the lens. I'm not saying it's blurry or out of focus. It looks a crystal clear folded up contact lens right in the middle of it. And so he comes over, he's like wiping the lenses over and shit. I was like, try again. I was like, same. I can see everything around it. He goes, the fuck? You know, you can tell his face is like, what the fuck? So he comes over and he's like, right, I need to take some internal pictures of your eye. And so he like flashes these pictures and he goes, oh dear. And I went, oh dear. And he goes, yeah. So you have a growth on the back of your eye that is a fast-growing cataract, and it is the fast one, and that's surgery. And I'm like, hold on a minute. I stop her. I was like, wait there. We need the boss because she's going to ask me all these fucking questions. So I was like, I opened the door. Emma, you need to come in here. And she was terrified. She told me afterwards. She was terrified because she does a lot of eye tests because she has glasses. And she was terrified. She knew something wasn't right because I'd been in there too long. And she said she was sat in the waiting room and I'd been there too long. And she was like, something's really wrong. If he's been in there that long, something's not right. And then she said, you opened that door and you said, come inside. And she was petrified because it's around this. Obviously, there's a history of heart disease in the men in my family. And she was like, going down a rabbit hole mentally of like something's really wrong and it's going to be heart related or something like that, like with this. So she comes in and he like shows the picture of my left eye and my right eye. It's like, that's his right eye. And you can see everything's perfect. Left eye, you can see right in the middle this fucking cloud that's like right in the center of his eye. And he's like, that's growing quite quickly, relatively speaking. So that's growing quite quickly, and that's going to be surgery. But it is a normal routine procedure to fix. But they are going to have to cut the lens out of my eye and stick another one on and sort it out. Yeah. It's not bad. It's nothing terrible. But I'm glad we found out what it is because he went, similar to my teeth, which were like, your teeth are really, really good, except for this car bomb that exists in your mouth. It's like your eyes are actually fantastic. Except for the fact that you've got this fucking scuffed shit growing on the back of your eye that you need fixing to get sorted. Is that a surgery you have to be awake for? I hope so. I prefer that. Although I did fall asleep during my... so they put a temporary crown on. But it took like 45 minutes, and I'd been rushing around that much. I'd done all... obviously, I've been here all Friday. Then I had some meetings after I finished drama. Then I had to go and do some stuff with the family, and I didn't get home till like 10. Then the tooth thing happened, so I was up for a while doing that and being on the phone. Then I've been out all day being poked and prodded, blah, 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 and then going to the opticians and finding out I needed eye surgery. Then coming back to the dentist. So I fell asleep while they were drilling my tooth out. It was really comfortable. Like, it was loud, but it was really comfortable, and it was the first time I'd sat down. So I was like, lay on this fucking thing, and I was like, oh, this is so cozy. And after about 20 minutes, I drifted off, and the nurse woke me up, and she went, you can't go to sleep now. We need you to do things. And I was like, it's really comfy in here. It's like super comfy. She's like, well, I'm glad you're relaxed, but we need you to stay awake because we have to like move your mouth around and shit like that. I was like, all right. So I was like struggling to stay awake while she was doing it. And she was like, you don't fall asleep during this. I was like, it's really cozy. Like, it was very, very cozy. So yeah, don't fall asleep. I was so comfy. And I was relaxed for the first time that day. I did feel bad, though, because they obviously inject your gum with the anesthetic, and I didn't feel that. So when she was doing it, before it kicked in and my mouth went, blah, 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 I was like, I did not feel that at all. Is that a concern? She went, no, when you have the root canal, the nerve's dead, so you wouldn't feel anything there anyway. I was like, oh, sweet. Bonus. Bonus. Yeah, I know when they done the root canal, they'd done that, so that was good. The worst part was... they have to rebuild the tooth, right? So she drilled it out and got rid of all the shit and all the blood or whatever that had dried in there. So it was all cleaned out. And then she has to basically fill it with like modeling clay stuff. And then she has to like shape it, right? She's like doing Warhammer in my mouth. And she got it wrong. Probably by like 1/4 of a millimeter, but I couldn't close my mouth. So it took another 25 minutes for her to get it right. You could tell she was getting frustrated. But she had this, like, paper that you're supposed to grind your tooth on so she could see where the high point is. So she's put it on this side, which what she was doing. And then she put it on the other side. And my mouth, my teeth were so far apart, she could slide it in and out. And she's like... Because she's like, how does that feel? I was like, it's all... I can only touch the right side of my mouth. And she's like, okay, hold on. And it took like 25 minutes because she's got to take such minor bits out to make it work over and over again. And she could tell she was getting really pissed off dealing with this. She was like, fuck's sake, like trying to sort it out. She should have been done like 25 minutes ago. And she couldn't get it done. Sliding it out while I was asleep. I only drifted off like a couple of minutes. They noticed quickly and they were like, no, you got to stay awake. You got to stay awake for it. But that was my weekend. And I've got shit growing on the back of my eye. It makes sense though, because if I do that, it's blurry. So I just thought it was glasses, right? There's a blur there when I do that. But now I know what it is. But alternatively, I probably will need glasses afterwards, she said, because your right eye is going to compensate, and it takes a while to do the surgery, so we're probably going to need it in January. The awkward thing is I'm really busy till the end of the year, so I was like, I can't really lose an eye in the short term. I've got things to do. So she was like, okay, so they'll try and do it for January. Evercold, there's no good time for me to not have an eye. Like, that's just not the case. So we'll find the point when it's convenient-ish. It should only be a couple of days recovery, apparently. And then there'll be a bit of stuff. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Go full blind. Prioritize the surgery. I mean, it's about as long as it probably takes anyway. Because that was the optician. But I have to go through the medical side now. So I've got to do a pre-op and they'll tell me more. If they say they can like waz it out in an afternoon and it'll be good by... I could maybe do it over the weekend, then whatever. It'll be all good. It'll be all good. I've only had one eye for 50 years, you wimp. I don't mind having an eye patch. It's content for me. Yeah, I don't mind. It's not that. It's just that I do need my eye, for various other things. I have no issues having an eye patch, like, at all. That's I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being on stream with an eye patch. Yeah, it's no problem for me.
It occurs to me,
what?
If this is January that you get it done,
yeah,
you can be Odin.
I could be Odin.
In Evercold.
In Evercold. Yeah, it's an Odin cosplay is what it is. Yeah, it's an Odin cosplay.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got to get my heart checked now. Emma's like so petrified. She wants me to go do some heart checks. But I had them done not long ago. Where was I? There was something I did not within the last 12 months where I had to get checked for stuff. I can't remember why. But, yeah, my heart was rock solid then, so we're all good. We're all good. We're all good.
Well, we should be. I mean, you run so fucking much at this point. Like,
Dude, I did a 20k yesterday.
you're insane.
Yeah, man. I did a 20k. Well chuffed with that. That's the furthest I've ever gone. I did a 20k yesterday. I was feeling very on top of the world because all things were kind of underway to get it going. Who runs 20 for fun? To see if I could. Yeah. To see if I could. And I could. Took it a little slow because it's a long way to go. And my ankles hurt today, but yeah, that. Well, my tooth is going to be 3 surgeries because, yeah, the tooth is going to be 3. The eye is, no, the tooth is going to be 2 surgeries. I mean, it's dental surgery. It is called surgery, but I mean, it's procedure as far as I'm concerned. But she did over my teeth and she went, okay, first of all, stop slacking going into the dentist. She did the full check and she's like, your teeth are fantastic. She's like, you've taken really good care of them, but they are older. So she's like, what I want to do is a polish and I want to do, she said she wanted to do a bit of whitening on them. Fine for me. You got the stains of life on there. So she's like, I want to do a bit of whitening on them, but they have to send off for the crown. But the NHS do a different type of crown that's not fully permanent. Like one that might need like a changing in 10 years or something like that. So she said, what we could do is, I've got an impression of your tooth. You have to send off to have the crown made because it's like a porcelain crown. I have to pay for that, which sucks. That's going to be, I think in total, it's going to be about $1,000 in total to get this whole thing fucking sorted, but it should be permanent. But she's like, I want to do a whitening on them. So what she's going to do, what she recommended was, let's send off. So, because this one is really temporary that I've got in now. And she also said I'm not allowed curry. The one I've got in stains really easily. So she's like, you're not allowed tomato or curry, especially is it ghee that's in curry? So no curries for the next 10 days, which I'll live. No curries. Yeah, no curries for the next 10 days. She's like, this one stains really, really easily. Yeah, turmeric and ghee is apparently a problem. And then she said, I'll get the one that's not going to, like, be made of modeling clay, like the one that's in your mouth now. But if we do a whitening bit on your teeth, which should last you for the rest of your life, I don't want to get the final crown made out of porcelain that's the wrong colour. Otherwise, it'll look like you've got, like, a gold tooth. So she's like, okay, we'll get this one made. We'll put that one on next week. And then when we know the final colour of your teeth, then we'll get the final one done. Otherwise, we'll get the wrong colour and it'll just look like a yeah, I'll look like a full pirate. I'll have an eye patch on and a gold tooth. And then it'll be like, then it'll just look fucking ridiculous. Well, it won't be gold. It'll just be like, you know, some stains on there, which is no good. Yeah, that's the situation. But yeah, I was all fucked up. And Emma's like, you're broken now. She was so smug about the whole thing, especially when it wasn't the heart. Yeah, that was a situation. At least it's in the back of the mouth. Yeah, but it was fucking gross. Like, Emma wouldn't kiss me at all. She was like, it was fucking gross. I was, like, horrified when I looked in my mouth and there was this giant fucking black tooth. I was like, what in the fuck has gone on there? Especially because I couldn't feel anything. That was what was so weird about it. It was so weird. It was just... I mean, it wasn't black, like black. It was like blue with the white edges. Like you could see something was going on. And I was like, what the fuck is going on there? Because it was so stand out and so noticeable. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, it was definitely a blue hue. Century egg tooth. A Smurf just in your mouth. Lime scale. Yeah, I just need to bleach. If I can bleach and get it fixed. But I really thought they're going to rip my tooth out. And I was like pushing on it. It was solid. It wasn't loose. It wasn't sore. Nothing. I was like, it feels solid. And I was like, they're going to rip my fucking tooth out. And I'm going to be like talking to Yoshida with a big fucking hole in my mouth. Like, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. That's not the way you want it to be. So I was like, oh, fuck me. I was like, can you just do, I was really of a case like, can you just do something for Friday so that we're all good by the time we get back? That's all I want in the world. It's like, can you just do something for Friday and then we can sort something out next week when I get back, because I've got a bit of time in the UK before anything else happens. Ishida won't kiss you otherwise. Yeah, exactly. Did you expect people to look at the back of your throat when chatting? I mean, you tend to see people's mouths when talking, yeah. That's the thing that happens, yeah. Unless you're like a total eye glarer. Unless you're like full eye glare. You tend to see people's mouths when you're talking. Yeah, that's the thing. Stop rubbing your gammy eye. Oh, don't start that. Don't start paying attention to every fucking thing I do. Don't fucking start that like you're all some sort of like observatory at the zoo. Why does it keep rubbing its eye? What's that about? What's that about? But it does... the floaters are normal as well. So anybody who's worried about floaters, who's like, your eyes are perfectly healthy. It's like, floaters are just a thing that happens, especially when it's bright. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Like, it's normal. UFOs, floaters, it's just a mild annoyance. Yeah, it's just a thing. Yeah, so if any of you have that, and it's not, like, permanent, you haven't got, like, big globs of shit floating in front of your eyes all the time, that's all normal. All normal in bright light. In other news, then, that's what's happening. PreachCon goers. Our community hero, Jono, has put together quite a fantabulous thing in that he has booked out an entire gamer bar for the Wednesday meetup. The Lord and Champion Jono has managed to get incommunicado and has booked out the entire Pixel bar for the PreachCon attendees in that Manchester. Wednesday, so there's a Wednesday F.
We have to.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, that is us.
A couple of times now, that.
Huh.
We can't get away with just a normal internet connection, Chris.
Seemingly not.
Seemingly, we cannot just have normal internet for any extended period of time.
I mean, ideally, what we need to do is like switch automatically, but
Jesus Christ,
fucking...
I am getting fucking herpes.
It is unbearable. Like,
It's so frustrating.
just fix the infrastructure. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucked.
bouncing around like a motherfucker.
Let me check the R connection. But restarting it last time did seem to fix it, so
Yeah.
I can just restart it. Are we back? Like, I mean, it's still back.
No, it's dropping frames.
Alright, I'm just gonna restart it.
Fuck.